Welcome to our audio commentary coverage. This broadcast is not an official product of this competition.
The tempo and energy of things as he tends to do. And it is the ball played forward towards Erling Haaland on the right-hand side. And Erling Haaland now trying to turn his man on the edge of the penalty area. Still Erling Haaland with the ball, wanted the handball there, but Rodri's going to pick up the pieces. And it is now gathered by Marc Guéhi for Manchester City. So Manchester City have the ball on the left-hand side, and they have it very neatly just outside the Chelsea penalty area, and they're popping it around with some degree of conviction here, and Cherki was involved, and so too gathered by Bernardo Silva, and now an opportunity right-hand side for Semenyo. Semenyo against Cucurella. Semenyo goes on the outside, and Cucurella does well actually to nibble back in and clip the ball away. And now to play for a corner kick for Man City. So, corner for Manchester City on the right-hand side. And it is Semenyo who is going to take it. So Semenyo on this right-hand side for Man City. An opportunity to swing the ball into a very good area indeed. Semenyo then is actually going to leave it now for Bernardo Silva, so it will be the in-swinger left-footed. In fact, he's gone short as Bernardo Silva. That's interestingly done to Rodri to generate a different kind of angle. And here comes Rodri once again, and then Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva just gliding in field, feeds it back to Rodri. Rodri's ball in towards the back post. Is kept alive, and Erling Haaland was indeed lurking. And Chelsea will try and bring the ball away. Can't quite do so now, but now Pedro Neto will keep it alive. And Chelsea come out from the back, but they can only go as far as the halfway line, and it's all Man City in the opening 3 minutes here. So here comes Ryan Cherki. Ryan Cherki goes right-hand side looking for the run of Semenyo, and then gathered now by Bernardo Silva, and it's collected by
Ryan Cherki once more. This being played on the right-hand side now for Manchester City. Gathered by Marc Guéhi. Marc Guéhi goes to his left-hand side and is collected by Doku. And Jeremy Doku now feeds it in field towards Marc Guéhi. Marc Guéhi just scoops it up right-hand side looking for Ryan Cherki. And Ryan Cherki now gathers once again. And Ryan Cherki slides it down the line. Will it be kept in play by Rodri? It will be, but it's gathered by Robert Sanchez. And Robert Sanchez then spoons it out with some degree of pace, but straight into the arms of Donnarumma. And Donnarumma does collect and feed it out to Rodri once again. Now Bernardo Silva operating slightly more deeper these days. And it is now collected by Bernardo Silva inside the centre circle. Bernardo Silva goes to his left-hand side and finds Rodri. And Rodri now left flank and finds Semenyo on the right-hand side against Cucurella. Cucurella came out on top in the last duel between the pair, but here's Semenyo once more. Still Semenyo. Semenyo tried just to flick the ball, I think, through towards Bernardo Silva. Didn't quite come off. Here's Cole Palmer now with an opportunity for Chelsea. Cole Palmer bursting towards the edge of the Manchester City penalty area. It is gathered now by Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto with the ball in towards Cole Palmer. Angles a keep for Cole Palmer, and he finds the side netting. And it's the first glimpse of goal that Chelsea have had in the game. Came courtesy really of Manchester City not managing to clear it properly. It was actually Cole Palmer who gathered the ball inside the penalty area, and it was Rodri's error that led to the chance for Chelsea. But it's a chance that Cole Palmer could only find the side netting with. In truth, the angle was pretty tight for him. Gathered now by Man City again at the back and outside their own penalty area. And Semenyo now collects, and it's pushed forward now towards Semenyo again. But that is well dealt with at the back by Hato. And then Sanchez rolls it out to Fofana. And Fofana finds Moises Caicedo. And the Ecuadorian just wedges it right-hand side. And will it be kept in play now by the Brazilian Esteval? No, it won't. As Enzo Fernandez watches on in the stands. Been disciplined recently due to his comments about wanting to possibly go and live in Madrid and everything that comes with that. It is a throw-in now for Chelsea on the right-hand side, which Esteval is going to take, and Liam Rosenior is sat down on his bench and, well, looks, I think, a little bit frustrated at how Man City are dominating the game so far. And so it is Chelsea who have a free kick just outside the centre circle. It's a free kick now that's going to be taken by Santos, and Santos goes to Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo to his right hand side, and here come Chelsea on that right flank, but it's actually out of play, and so it's gathered now by Bernardo Silva, and Bernardo Silva feeds the ball inside towards Rodri, and now Man City have the ball on the right hand side, and it's gathered by Semenyo, and Semenyo just cuts in field, but Cucurella was there with a touch, and Cucurella throws the ball back towards Fofana, and then Hatter gets a touch, and Chelsea trying to play through the middle. An ambitious ball looking for Cucurella, didn't quite come off, and so it's going to be a throw-in for Man City. And Pep Guardiola dressed in black today. He's got a black jacket on in contrast to Neil Senior in the t-shirt. Haaland tries to find a way through, can't quite do so, and Chelsea are in possession now of Moises Caicedo, and now it's gathered by Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto just feeding it in field. I think he was looking towards Cole Palmer. Bernardo Silva gets a touch, and Rodri is there, but it's only now gathered by, well, it's an opportunity once again, this time for Joao Pedro, but Joao Pedro couldn't quite get the final strike away. Kusanov came across to alleviate the danger, but one or two better signs for Chelsea in the last 10 minutes or so. And so Joao Pedro's effort was blocked by Kusanov in the end. And so it's going to be a corner kick now for Chelsea. Neto feeds it towards the edge of the penalty area, and Neto regathers again, and Neto now towards Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo switches the play and finds Cole Palmer. Better spell this for Chelsea. Settling into the game now. Cole Palmer goes backwards, and it is now gathered by Gusto, and Gusto finds Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto gliding inside now for Chelsea to find Hato. Hato left hand side, collected now by Pedro Neto once more, and Moises Caicedo is just going to drift the ball forwards. It's going to drop now, is it, for Cole Palmer? Cole Palmer feeds it to Andre Santos. Now Cole Palmer with his right foot, big deflection. Donnarumma does collect, but a better 3 or 4 minute spell really for Chelsea. The first time in the game they've managed to settle, and so it is going to be an opportunity now for Cole Palmer once again, and well, Cole Palmer wants Rodri here to get a yellow card because Rodri's just kind of held him back, and it is going to be now a free kick for Chelsea in a pretty good position. So, a free kick now which Chelsea will take, and it's bang central around about 40 yards from goal. It's going to be a free kick now which is scooped into the penalty area but beyond everyone. It's a really poor free kick in fact, and is out of play for a goal kick, and Pedro Neto just got that one horribly wrong, and Manchester City will come out from the back, and Marc Guéhi is in possession, and Marc Guéhi feeds it right hand side now to Kusanov, and Kusanov has the ball on his right hand side. He gives the ball away, and Chelsea now through Joao Pedro will seek to come again. Joao Pedro just cutting in field, and Joao Pedro has the option of Pedro Neto to his left hand side, but Joao Pedro I think is going to go alone here, is he? Well, in fact, he just cuts it back towards Hato. And Pedro Neto to Hato again, and Hato goes back towards Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo to Sanchez, and Chelsea plays some decent stuff. And Santos now tried to lift it forward, couldn't quite do so. And Cole Palmer will pick up the pieces. Yellow card now is shown by the referee, and I guess the foul's gone into the notebook there. His 4th yellow card of the season. And 12 minutes played. If you're just joining us, it is Chelsea 0, Manchester City 0. It's gathered now at the back by Man City with Kusanov. And Kusanov goes to his right-hand side. And Man City gather the ball now through Semenyo. And Semenyo is in a foot race against Cucurella, but it's well mopped up actually at the back that by Fofana. And so Fofana feeds it back in field. And Man City will come once again. And here is Bernardo Silva. And Bernardo Silva has the ball inside the centre circle. Bernardo Silva twisting left and right. The ball's flicked left-hand side now to Nico O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly coming forwards. And Nico O'Reilly feeds it to Doku. Doku by the corner flag against Gusto. And Doku trying to find a way into the penalty area. Cole Palmer was there. Rodri does collect. And Rodri now goes back towards Doku. And Doku to Kusanov. And Kusanov now back to Doku and then Rodri. And it is gathered now by Cherki. And Cherki finds Semenyo. Semenyo back in field towards Mateus Nunes. And Mateus Nunes to Cherki. And Cherki in field towards Rodri. Rodri now to Kusanov, and all of this being played on the left-hand side, Manchester City's left-hand side, and now it's an opportunity for Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku on that left flank against Fofana, just glides in field, and Doku eventually manages to squirm his cross in. Haaland was there with the header, and eventually the ball breaks loose, and it'll be Rodri who mops up and goes all the way back to Donnarumma. And so Donnarumma is there for Manchester City, and so it is Man City who bring away the ball with Mateus Nunes, and Mateus Nunes then to Kusanov, and it's gathered now by Cherki, and Cherki feeds it forward towards Rodri, and Rodri back towards Ryan Cherki, and here is Cherki with the ball for Man City, and well, it's really poor in the end actually, and it's Mateus Nunes who's put the ball out of play for a throw-in. So 15 minutes played, and Pep Guardiola is kind of staring at the grass, has a little shake of the head. Don't think he'll be particularly pleased at the lack of intensity, maybe. That might change here, though, with Jeremy Doku. The ball, though, is just going to squirm loose for a Chelsea goal kick. So no big chances in the game as yet. Half chance really for Cole Palmer inside the penalty area on the left-hand side. And he lashed the ball into the side netting. And Man City haven't really been able to create anything in the contest as yet. So it is Chelsea 0, Man City 0, in a game that both sides really need points from. Cucurella does gather then on the left-hand side, and Cucurella trying to release Pedro Neto, and does just that. Pedro Neto has the ball left-hand side and feeds it infield, looking for the run of Joao Pedro, and he finds Cucurella, who opens the scoring for Chelsea. It's a beautiful little finish from Cucurella, who dips it over the advancing goalkeeper, but the flag is up. Well, Cucurella is not sure whether he was onside or not. He was looking right across the line with Cucurella. It's tight, but Cucurella, oh, it's really tight. It's really tight. And maybe the right boot of Kusanov is playing him on. It's a good finish from Cucurella. Past Donnarumma. It's a really tight one, this. And I wonder if Cucurella is actually onside here. I don't think Cucurella thinks he's on. They're just halting the game momentarily, and then the final decision is he is offside, no goal. And so Man City will come forwards with O'Reilly. Gathered now by Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva releasing Doku into the penalty area. It's Jeremy Doku for Man City, and Jeremy Doku just can't get past his man. And it's gathered now by Bernardo Silva, and then O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Rodri. It was a good chance that was for Jeremy Doku, who often finds himself in these kind of positions. Jeremy Doku now to Nico O'Reilly. O'Reilly's cut back, corner kick, Man City. And the game has suddenly sprung to life. So it is a corner kick now, which Cherki will take. And it is going to be now Bernardo Silva outside the penalty area, left-footed, who tried to feed it in. Bernardo Silva will regather the ball, and it's still Bernardo Silva. He just tries to wedge it right-hand side for Rodri and does just that. Rodri goes back in field and finds Mateus Nunes. Mateus Nunes with a sweeping pass to Doku. Doku, great control. Doku on the left-hand side. Doku flanked by two blue shirts. Goes inside to find Nico O'Reilly. Now Cherki. Ryan Cherki just gliding in field. And Ryan Cherki now just outside the penalty area. And Manchester City trying to squeeze away through. Referee takes a tumble. And the crowd enjoyed that. He's okay though. And then the ball is switched left-hand side to find Pedro Neto. And Pedro Neto does collect, and Pedro Neto glides infield past 1 and 2. Could be a chance now for Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto, tight angle. Donnarumma with a very sharp save indeed. And Chelsea are having a little bit of joy down their left-hand side. Down that right-hand side, Man City's defence has looked a little bit porous. And Pedro Neto gliding into the area. Won the 50-50 with Rodri, and then extracted a very good save from Donnarumma down low to his left-hand side as Pedro Neto was trying to fizz the ball into the far corner. So Chelsea more than held their own in this contest so far. It is Chelsea 0, Man City 0. Pedro Neto has the ball and he just feeds it back towards Cole Palmer. And now it's gathered on the left-hand side by Pedro Neto. And it's collected now by Cucurella. Cucurella into the feet. Well, the offside flag is up in the end actually. Man City and Chelsea 0-0 at Stamford Bridge with 19 minutes play. And it is collected now on the right-hand side by Semenyo. Semenyo feeds it infield and finds Cherki. And Cherki now to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva operating deep. Man City haven't had a shot on goal in the game so far. And Chelsea have had 4. So Chelsea a bit a better side. Have the ball on the left-hand side with O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly gathers for Man City and finds Doku. Jeremy Doku approaching the edge of the penalty area. Finds O'Reilly, and now Mark Gay. And everyone behind the ball for Chelsea as Man City trying to find a way through. And it is now Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku to Mark Gay. Mark Gay with the crossing towards Erling Haaland. Didn't quite come for him, and Cucurella will complete the clearance. And in fact just clips it up towards Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro will pick up the pieces, but the free kick has gone in favour of Man City. And so it is Man City who have the ball. Have the ball operating from deep. It is now swung out towards Doku on that left-hand side again. Doku against Gusto. Doku has got Estevao in close proximity as well. Doku trying to find a way through, and he does. It's Jeremy Doku. Is it going to break now for Bernardo Silva? Not quite. Rodri on the edge of the penalty area. Ryan Cherki trying to find a way through. And that's going to be a free kick for Chelsea. And free kick for Chelsea just outside their own penalty area. So it's Chelsea 0, Man City 0 in this Premier League clash on Sunday. It is now Chelsea who are in possession, and they have the ball just outside their own penalty area, and it is Semenyo who's providing a little bit of the pressure, and now it's gathered by Jeremy Doku, and it's going to come as far as Erling Haaland on the edge of the area. Haaland couldn't quite find a way through though, and Cucurella loses out against Rodri, and Rodri just pushes it back towards Matheus Nunes, and Matheus Nunes goes back to his goalkeeper, and Man City will come again. So Marc Guéhi does gather. Marc Guéhi now has the ball to the left of centre, and Rodri feeds it back to Marc Guéhi, and now Donnarumma has it inside his own penalty area. And Donnarumma to Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes flicks it up towards Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland to Bernardo Silva. He's produced a pretty poor ball, but has somehow managed to get it back. And Bernardo Silva has the ball on the edge of the penalty area. And is it going to break now for a Manchester City player? No, it's not, because Cole Palmer does gather. And then the ball is all the way back now with Sanchez. And Sanchez feeds the ball out towards Hato. And now here come Chelsea once again. And it is gathered at the back now by Jeremy Doku. And so Marc Guéhi to Bernardo Silva. Marc Guéhi has the ball once again. And so it is Man City who are in possession once again. And now Marc Guéhi just pokes the ball forward towards Rodri. And now it's gathered by Semenyo. Semenyo right hand side in the sunshine for Man City. And Rodri now just rolls his studs over the ball. And here come Man City once again. It's been a lot of this though from Man City. A lot of possession in these kind of areas, but without really being able to produce a clear goal scoring opportunity in the game. That has certainly been the case so far. Erling Haaland's touchdown to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva now pushes it right hand side and finds Semenyo. Semenyo against Cucurella. Semenyo down the line, and is now gathered by Matheus Nunes, and Matheus Nunes in towards Rodri, and Rodri now to Matheus Nunes, and Matheus Nunes goes right hand side now, and forward come Man City. And now it is gathered by Matheus Nunes, and Matheus Nunes collects the ball on that right hand side, and Man City will seek to try and come again. And it's curled in now by Cherki, but it's a very poor ball indeed. And it's out of play now for a goal kick for Chelsea. 25 minutes played, and it's fair to say it hasn't really been a cracker so far. Chances at an absolute premium as Chelsea bring the ball away and out for the back. And here is Cole Palmer looking for the run right hand side of Esteval, who is offside. I think Esteval saying he wanted it played a little bit earlier than that. And so it is Chelsea 0, Man City 0. Man City have the ball at the back, and they have it now in the form of Kusanov. And Kusanov goes right hand side, and Man City still in possession. It is now gathered by Cherki, and into the feet of Semenyo, but it's sloppy again. It's been a poor 26 minutes of football from Pep Guardiola's men, and he'll be very, very well aware of the fact that an Arsenal defeat yesterday just gave them such a big opportunity to come here to Stamford Bridge today and make a bit of a statement. They haven't done that just yet, but maybe Jeremy Doku can change things. Doku approaching the edge of the penalty area. Still Jeremy Doku goes down. Don't think he was realistically asking for a penalty. Esteban is fouled by O'Reilly, and it's going to be a free kick. Free kick then for Chelsea. 27 minutes played at Stamford Bridge. 0-0 the score. And it is now poked forwards again by Chelsea towards Cole Palmer. Will Cole Palmer gather? No, because Bernardo Silva is back there. And Donnarumma's got some mopping up to do. And he wasn't taking any chances there, Donnarumma. And so he just nudges the ball out of play for a throw-in for Chelsea. Chelsea have a throw-in then on the right-hand side, and Chelsea are in possession now, and they move it on the left-hand side with Cucurella. Cucurella feeds it infield, and Chelsea will come again. Gathered now on that right-hand side by Chelsea, and Gusto just clips it forwards, and Joao Pedro is there right on the halfway line. Joao Pedro keeps it moving for Esteban. Esteban now to Joao Pedro. And Joao Pedro is robbed of possession by Bernardo Silva, and he regathers possession to Joao Pedro. And it's fed out left-hand side now, looking for Pedro Neto. And Chelsea have the ball back again, but it's all very stuttered and no real fluency from either side. And here is Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer might be able to change all that, but Rodri just steps in and stabs it away, but only as far as Gusto. Gusto's ball across the face of goal, was looking for Joao Pedro, who wasn't too far away, and Joao Pedro gives him the thumbs up for the ball in. And well, he's not too far away at all. And it's a beautiful ball in, isn't it, from Gusto. And it's just beyond Joao Pedro. Well, Doku can't believe he's been penalised here. But penalised he has been. Played half an hour of football, and if truth be told, it's been very stagnant, this Premier League clash between Chelsea and Manchester City, and it wasn't really supposed to be this way, because I mean, there's so much jeopardy, there's so much riding on this for both football clubs. Beautifully done by Pedro Neto, and Chelsea have won themselves a corner. So Pedro Neto on that right-hand side. On this side of corner, he's got an opportunity now to get the ball into the area. Cucurella helps it on. Donnarumma gets a touch on it. O'Reilly smashes it up. Donnarumma again with a partial punch away towards Pedro Neto. Cole Palmer's also there. Cole Palmer then to Pedro Neto. Rodri's touch, and it will be a corner. Is that going to be a corner? Actually, it's going to be a goal kick. Final touch was off Pedro Neto. And so it's Chelsea 0, Man City 0 at Stamford Bridge. And there haven't really been any big chances in the game as yet. Cole Palmer found the side netting. Here is Jeremy Doku, though, trying to feed it forward towards Erling Haaland. It's a really poor ball from Jeremy Doku in the end. And so It remains Chelsea 0, Manchester City 0. Here come Chelsea on the left-hand side, and it's one back now by Ryan Cherki. And I think Pep Guardiola will be extremely concerned at just how little intensity there's been from his side in the game. Of course, the big game next Sunday as well, City against Arsenal, but for that game to really have the jeopardy it needs, I mean, City have surely got to pick up all 3 points this afternoon. It certainly doesn't look likely. Here, Matheus Nunes collects and goes right hand side. I mean, the game does remain 0-0, but just on the balance of play and the scarcity of chances created so far. At the moment, Arsenal are going to have an 8-point lead going into that contest. It is now Nico O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly gathers and feeds it left hand side towards Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku feeds it in towards O'Reilly. O'Reilly cleverly done, but the ball is just going to be gathered by Cole Palmer. O'Reilly's back in possession, and then it's swept away by Fofana, and Joao Pedro touches on, and Donnarumma is going to come out and very coolly deals with the situation. And so now it's Matheus Nunes who goes down and wins a free kick for Man City on the right hand side, just inside the Chelsea half. Jeremy Doku has it again left hand side against Gusto. Jeremy Doku infield towards Marc Guéhi. Marc Guéhi's got the option of Rodri in support, goes back towards Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku then inside the penalty area. Riley with the cutback, and it's a really good save, and Haaland was there in the end, but it's gathered by Sanchez. That's the first time really in the game Man City have had any kind of joy whatsoever. O'Reilly's cutback, Bernardo Silva's effort, and Sanchez with the save. Well, sort of straight at the goalkeeper. Rodri has the ball now for Man City once again, but that really does represent their only meaningful moment in the contest so far. And it is now collected by Doku once again. He's seen an awful lot of the ball as Jeremy Doku. As yet hasn't been able to conjure anything. Against Gusto again. Jeremy Doku left hand side now for Man City. Nico O'Reilly takes charge and is collected now by Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes goes right hand side and finds Cherki. And Cherki to Matheus Nunes. And then Bernardo Silva takes over just outside the centre circle. Doku is the option left hand side. Bernardo Silva cuts infield and finds Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes then goes to Cherki. And Cherki just drifting infield, and Cherki goes to his right hand side. And then it is regathered once again by Cherki. But Neto gathers, and Neto pushes it to his right hand side and finds Esteval. And Esteval now thinking about taking on Marc Guéhi for pace on that right flank, and Esteval tries to glide inside. Marc Guéhi is there, and Marc Guéhi just brings the ball away for Man City. And Marc Guéhi has it again in the left back position. Goes into midfield and finds Rodri and Nico O'Reilly. And Chelsea do win the ball back. 5 minutes, or 10 minutes I should say, before half time. 0-0 the score. Doku is in possession for Man City. Esteval is biting in, and Esteval's on a yellow card here. Well, in fact, it's Andre Santos who is the man penalised, and Andre Santos has got away with one there, I think. So a free kick now, which Doku has received the ball from. And then Bernardo Silva inside the area on the left-hand side. Doku tried to cross it in, didn't quite come off. And Chelsea have been very solid defensively. They've prevented Man City from really being able to create anything aside from that effort from Bernardo Silva after the cutback from Nico O'Reilly. It is now Nico O'Reilly who goes to the left-hand side, and it is now Marc Guéhi, and collected now by Marc Guéhi again. Marc Guéhi in towards Rodri, and Rodri goes 5 yards to his right-hand side and finds Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes then infield towards Semenyo, and Semenyo gives the ball away, and Pedro Neto gathers. Yellow card shown, and Semenyo can't believe he's been penalised there, but he has been, and so it is now Chelsea who are in possession just outside the penalty area. 37 minutes played in the game, and really not too much to speak of in terms of chances. I mean, one good save from Donnarumma and one good save from Sanchez, but it's quite been the open game that maybe plenty would have predicted. Cucurella with the throw, and Cucurella goes back infield, and it is now gathered by Hato. And Hato back in field, and even the crowd's a little bit subdued in this one. Hato goes back in field towards Fofana, and then it is Chelsea who have the ball again through Fofana. Fofana on the right hand side, and now it's gathered by Andre Santos, but here comes Nico O'Reilly, who's picked the pocket of his opponent, and then the effort on goal from Cherki isn't a particularly good one, to be honest with you, because it's a very comfortable save by Sanchez, and he was in a half-decent position there, Ryan Cherki, and in a first half with very few chances, that goes down as a decent opportunity, and Sanchez lashes it away. It is now Rodri who collects, and then collected now by Matheus Nunes, and Matheus Nunes in towards Bernardo Silva, and now Ryan Cherki in towards Rodri, who pings it right hand side and finds Semenyo, and Semenyo infield and feels the challenge, and Nico O'Reilly gets a touch on it. It's all very scrappy indeed, but Chelsea come away with the ball, but Erling Haaland is back there fighting for City, and Donnarumma eventually gathers. So City have the ball at the back, and Marc Guéhi goes to his right hand side and finds Matheus Nunes, and Matheus Nunes then to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva sweeps it forwards once more. Here comes Semenyo, and then Bernardo Silva, and Bernardo Silva now to Cherki to the left hand side, and here come Man City now through Cherki, and Cherki to his right hand side finds Matheus Nunes, and Matheus Nunes then in towards Marc Guéhi, and Marc Guéhi towards Doku, and Man City desperately trying to find a way through, and Doku has won his side a corner kick at the very least with 5 minutes of the first half left to play, and it is a corner kick then for Man City on their left hand side, and an opportunity to swing the ball into the penalty area, a game that as yet has not come to life. So a corner kick now, which will be taken on that left hand side by the right boot of Ryan Cherki, and Ryan Cherki now to Semenyo, and Semenyo's inside the penalty area, and it's going to fall now to, well, there's half a shout for handball in there, but I don't think it was ever going to realistically be a penalty, and Rodri swings it right hand side now and finds Bernardo Silva, and Bernardo Silva against Cucurella. Bernardo Silva's inside the area, and Bernardo Silva loses out, and Pedro Neto will bring the ball away for Chelsea. Cucurella is also there. And Rodri with the foul on Moises Caicedo. And so it's a free kick for Chelsea inside their own penalty area towards the end of a pretty patchy opening 45 minutes at Stamford Bridge. No goals, not too much in the way of clear-cut chances either. Here come Chelsea though, through Santos, and Santos has the ball inside the centre circle, and it is now gathered on the right hand side by Esteban and then Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer feeds it infield and will come once more. Now it's gathered by Cole Palmer, and he goes to his right hand side, and here come Chelsea once again with Esteban. Esteban's inside the area, trying to find a way through, couldn't quite do so. Chelsea though have the ball once more, and they have it in a good area, but Donnarumma will collect, and Donnarumma's looking immediately to see if there's runners for the break. There isn't, and so Donnarumma's just going to hold on to the ball for a few more seconds, and he finds Mark Gay. Gay to his right hand side, and forward comes O'Reilly, and Doku now to Nico O'Reilly, but the ball was cut out. Played 43 minutes of football at Stamford Bridge, 0-0 the score, as we await the first meaningful moment in the game, really. Been a few flashes, few little half chances, but nothing in the way of a clear goal scoring opportunity. So it is now O'Reilly who helps it on. O'Reilly infield towards Rodri. And now City will come once again through Mateus Nunes. Mateus Nunes to Semenyo. Semenyo back in field towards Mateus Nunes, and then Rodri, but it's all a little bit pedestrian from Man City's perspective. Gathered now by Bernardo Silva. He's trying to find Erling Haaland, can't quite do so. Chelsea will come away with the ball, and Ryan Cherki's trying to lead the high press, but Sanchez has it, and then Chelsea do manage to play, very nearly managed to play out from the back, but Rodri wins it back, and Rodri now to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva in towards the feet of Cherki, and Ryan Cherki then. It's all very narrow for City though. Gathered by Kusanov, who tried to find Doku, couldn't quite do so. O'Reilly will gather, and O'Reilly to Cherki, and Cherki pokes it back to Kusanov. And now it's gathered left hand side by Doku. Jeremy Doku with the ball for Man City. And Jeremy Doku to Cherki with the step overs. Cherki's just outside the penalty area to the left of centre. Mateus Nunes. Mateus Nunes to Semenyo against Cucurella. Cucurella's got the better of that battle so far, but can Semenyo release a strike on goal? He can, and it's about a yard past the upright. Took a nick on his way through as well. So it's going to be a corner kick right on the stroke of half time for Man City. Well, Semenyo just glided inside, and eventually the ball comes off the leg of Santos. Goalkeeper Sanchez might have been covering it anyway, but the deflection took it just past the upright. And so Bernardo Silva will take the corner kick. One additional minute at the end of the opening 45. Bernardo Silva then with the corner kick into a good area towards the back post, but just a little bit too high for Mark Gay in the end. And that might be that in terms of the first half. And certainly if City are to close that gap to Arsenal, they're going to need to do an awful lot better in the second period. I mean, you've got the likes of Omar Marmoush and Phil Foden and Savinho and Reinders, so there are options, no question about that, but so far it's been rather poor, and Pep Guardiola watching on, emblematic of that really. He looks like a very frustrated man indeed, and there's going to be a free kick for Chelsea, and is there going to be time to take this? We will see. So, free kick for Chelsea. to the left of centre. We played the allocated. One minute. It's hoisted into the penalty area, but over the crossbar in the end from Andre Santos, and so that'll be that in terms of the first half. The first half of very, very few chances indeed, in a game where both sides really need points. It is Chelsea 0.